Hello everyone, my name is Asima Altaf and I am a research scholar at the Department of Management Studies, University of Kashmir. Here I am going to present my research paper titled A Critical Analysis of Kashmir University's Academic Activities During COVID-19. But before beginning, let me thank the coordinators of International Management Conference 2021 held by Jamia Millia Islamia to give me the tremendous opportunity to present my paper here. Thank you so very much. Let's begin with the introduction. Since the time the global health crisis COVID-19 has erupted, academia has seen enormous reforms internationally. Work patterns worldwide have also changed to a large extent. Amongst all the most affected areas has been learning and development. The decision to go to work from home has made it impossible for employees to have in-room training. Workplace learning has emerged as the hardest hit one. The impact of pandemic looks quite long-lasting and wide-ranging. Many companies and institutions have implemented different models to keep the business and their daily work ongoing, in which the digital skills training is of high demand. Academics in India had closed down rapidly in the middle of the year 2020, even before the countrywide lockdown began, as individually imposed by the states. According to the recent guidelines of University Grants Commission, that is the head of the higher education in India, has asked institutions to ensure the provision of quality education, worldwide user-friendliness and uniformity to all the learners. Even the Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi has been constantly encouraging academicians for innovative and interesting use of technology in making the educational system of India attractive to the learners and the society as a whole. Education sector has formally shifted its teaching, learning to e-learning mode, and the University of Kashmir is one among them. Similarly, teachers, being the building blocks of the nation, need continuous training as well. COVID-19 has confirmed that teacher training needs to be evolved in structure and content. It sounds that in order to alleviate the loss of learning of teachers accumulated during the health crisis, there is a dire need of focusing on teacher training and not solely on student learning. Let's have a look at literature review now. India, being the third largest after China and United States of America in higher education system in the world in terms of its size and the range of educational institutions it has. According to Agarwal 2006, India has attained enormous growth in higher education after independence only. The breakdown of coronavirus, which originated from Wuhan of China, was identified as worldwide health emergency that affected thousands of people across the world and also the global economy. The service sector had broken down, incurred losses in domestic and global businesses, brought overload to the doctors, and not least to mention the too much stress on the population. Countless people were travel banned, and it seemed that the life had come to a halt. In the mid-2020s, the connecting to each other was instigated through online conferencing, and that brought about a digital revolution throughout. Almost every sector adapted the way out, and so did the academics, as the future of nation was on stake that could no longer stand still. In order to deliver valuable efforts to create learning leaders and to care for employees, the digital and virtual mode of education took over. According to Bellini et al., in order to work against the physical distancing in an active way, various internet-based technology and social media can be used that can help in attaining the varied and extensive audience. Also, again, according to Law and Sharma, various online softwares like webinars, teleconferences, and other online meeting software applications such as Zoom, Google Meet have been regularized by professionals and academicians, and the exponential growth has been seen despite the reality of social distancing. We could see that the world is entering into the fourth generation of universities, namely online and digital universities, as the entirely new phase of evolution of education and academia is being experienced, and it is a result of pandemic that is not allowing us to reopen our schools and universities. According to Sahu 2020 and Ali 2020, to diminish the spread of novel coronavirus, colleges all throughout the planet moved quickly to shift different courses from in-person to online, with internet learning, that is e-learning, in this way turning into an obligatory teaching and learning process of educational organizations. According to UKFIT 2020 and Education and Development Forum, the teacher training must be education sector's top priority. It states that the teachers need continuous professional development rather than student learning. Also, the teachers need the upskilling of how to deliver lectures in effect. The motivation given with care will normally improve the morale of the educators. According to Bhatt, Singh, Nayak, Kamath, Mulimani, Kulkarni 2020, the constant optimistic approach towards educators will prompt an improved teaching learning framework when they get back to the work after the unexpected and undesirable break caused because of COVID 2019 flare. As indicated in an article given by the Indian Express, UGC states that teacher training and student learning and social distancing is the center of new meeting, or we can call it as a new normal. All the faculty members will be trained to instruct carefully the digital platform. The training, according to the suggestions, will incorporate ICT, that is Information Communication Technology, alongside the digital educating applications and tools. Therefore, the University of Kashmir is working consistently to give its students and educators the best of its substance in this emergency time. The Human Resource Development Center is directing the web refresher classes, workshops, inductions to upgrade the abilities, capacities, information, proficiency and motivation of the teachers, administrators and senior functionaries. It gives ample opportunities to experts and career development for the educators in higher education department in the framework of knowledge in their respective specialization of teaching. The Government of India has additionally introduced different online certificate courses for educators to upgrade their knowledge, which are Swayam, MOOCs and so on, for which the University of Kashmir is likewise holding workshops. The UGC suggested that colleges should create virtual classrooms and video conference offices, give their staff proper training in the frameworks and upload necessary materials to sites to aspire to shift around 25% of syllabi through the web. The UGC additionally encouraged adaptability in method of conducting tests, which should be possible personally or on the internet. Also, according to an online article published in the World University Ranking 2020, Dr. Nishank guaranteed students that plans were being made to save an academic year of a student, also urged them to utilize government resources on the web like the National Digital Library, or to take up some books or writing in a journal to beat the pressure and uneasiness because of the crisis that has erupted. The research questions for this very research that have arrived are like this: to identify the interest and attitude of students and teachers towards online learning training during pandemic, and to assess the satisfaction level of students and teachers for e-learning during COVID-19 crisis. Research methodology. This study is descriptive in nature and both primary and as well as secondary data was used. The study is specific to measure the satisfaction level of the online academic activities on faculty and students of University of Kashmir during COVID-19. The study targets the employees and students of University of Kashmir. Total number of 145 employees and students were taken as sample. Our survey used a structured non-disguised questionnaire to cull the primary data from respondents that are the students and employees of Kashmir University. The questionnaire was distributed among 25 people to give their opinion and pilot tested subsequently. The scale was thus validated with Cronbach's alpha and obtained the value of 0.83. The significant values were obtained and the questionnaire was thus distributed among the sample organization. Google Forms were used and the data was stored in Excel worksheets automatically. Descriptive statistics was used to generalize the findings and non-parametric tests were used to obtain the meaningful information from the data. Data analysis and interpretation. The research paper is an open-ended one as the data is still being analyzed since the COVID-19 wave second has hit us nationwide, and hopefully we'll be there with the meaningful interpretation of the analysis therefore done. It was found that the classroom training has more impact on an individual rather than online training. It is hitherto that the all academic activities have been hardly hit because of the pandemic than ever. Majority of the courses which are professional in nature, for example science, math, communications, fashion designing and many more have not been undertaken at all. The demonstrations are practical or several activities have also not been able to take place, which has had an appalling impact on the learning of an individual. Therefore, the physical classes or one-to-one interaction has greater impact on the individual in terms of learning and training. The online courses, whether for students or faculty, are considered as supplementary and partial. The teachers have also not been able to get that impactful training which they used to have during classroom interaction. Altogether, both the students as well as teachers didn't seem to be that satisfied with the online learning and training. At the end, thank you so very much once again, and may Allah Almighty heal all the affected ones. Ameen.